Hi class, today we're looking at Chapter 6, Lesson 5, Dividing with Scientific Notation. So the Earth's mass is almost 6 times 10 to the 24th power kilograms, and the mass of Jupiter is almost 2 times 10 to the 27th power kilograms. You can divide the mass of Jupiter by the mass of Earth to find out how many times greater Jupiter's mass is than Earth's. The rule for dividing powers with the same base applies to dividing numbers in scientific notation. So let's look at dividing numbers in scientific notation. So we have 6.5 times 10 to the 6th power divided by 7.3 times 10 to the 2nd power. Our first step is to write it as a fraction. So we have 6.5 times 10 to the 6th over 7.3 times 10 to the 2nd. So now we want to separate the coefficients and the powers of 10. So we have 6.5 over 7.3 times 10 to the 6th over 10 to the 2nd. Let's divide the coefficients. So when you divide 6.5 divided by 7.3, you get 0.89 times 10 to the 6th over 10 to the 2nd. Now we're going to subtract the exponents. Right? When we're multiplying, we add. When we divide, we subtract. So that is going to equal 0.89 times 10 to the 4th. 6 subtract 2 is 4. And now we want to write the 0.89 in scientific notation. So we're going to move it one place to the right. So that means 8.9 times 10 to the negative 1st times 10 to the 4th. And so now we've got to add the exponents because we're multiplying. So we have negative 1 plus 4, which is going to equal 3. So our answer is 8.9 times 10 to the 3rd. And that is dividing numbers in scientific notation. So we have 2 here that I'd like you to try on your own. Press pause, complete those, and come back to me when you're done. Okay, so you should have got 3.4 times 10 to the 2nd and 1.63 times 10 to the negative 2nd. Okay, so now let's look at how this applies to astronomy. The distance between the sun and a comet is about 2.79 times 10 to the 8th miles. Light travels at 1.1 times 10 to the 7th miles per minute. Use the formula time equals distance divided by speed to estimate how many minutes sunlight takes to reach the comet. Write your answer in standard form and round to the nearest tenth. So the distance, which we're going to put on top, is 2.79 times 10 to the 8th divided by the speed, 1.1 times 10 to the 7th. So, right, we're going to separate these out. So we have 2.79 over 1.1 times 10 to the 8th over 10 to the 7th. We'll divide those first ones. 2.79 divided by 1.1 equals 2.5. These you're all rounding because they usually come with a long decimal point. Maybe we should do 2.54. And then we're going to subtract 7 minus 8 is going to be 10 to the first power. We can go ahead and solve that. 10 to the first power is just times 10. So this would equal 25.4 minutes to reach the comet. Okay, you tried this one. The distance between the sun and the earth is about 9.3 times 10 to the 7th miles. Light travels about 1.1 times 10 to the 7th miles per minute. Estimate how long sunlight takes to reach Earth. Write your answer in standard form, round to the nearest tenth. Okay, press pause, come back to me when you're done. Okay, so you should have got 8.5 minutes. So dividing these gets you 8.45. I rounded to the tenths place. 5 makes it go up, 8.5. 7 minus 7 is 0. 10 to the 0 power equals 1. So 8.45 times 1 equals 8.5 minutes. Dividing by numbers in standard form. Divide. Write each quotient in scientific notation. So remember, the word quotient is a fancy word for dividing. Okay? So if we are going to write this in scientific notation, then what we want to do is first write it as a fraction. So we have negative 7.1 times 10 to the third divided by 6.3. Write is a product of quotients and a power of 10. So we're going to break it apart. So here's 7.1 divided by 6.3 times 10 to the third power. So then we want to go ahead and divide that. And when we divide that, we get negative 1.1 times 10 to the third power. And that's our answer. So let me try another one here for you. This one has the number on top. So we're going to go 4.2 divided by, and I'm going to go ahead and just split them apart now. 5.5 times 10, times 1 over 10 to the 9th power. Okay, so when we divide 4.2 divided by 5.5, that equals 0.76. And if we want this to be on the top, we're going to have to turn it into a negative. So then that's going to be times 10 to the negative 9 power. We want to make this in scientific notation, so we have to have the 7 in the ones place. So that means that we are going to move the decimal to the right one place. So now we're going to have 7.6 times 10 to the negative 1 times 10 to the negative 9. So now we can combine these. Negative 1 plus negative 10 equals negative 10. So our answer is going to be 7.6 times 10 to the negative 10th power. So these next two, please try on your own. Come back when you are done. Press pause. Okay, so for A, you should have got 1.5 times 10 to the 6th power. And for B, you should have got 7 times 10 to the 2nd power. Ugh. Okay, ordering numbers. So let's order 6.2 times 10 to the negative fourth, 6 times 2 times 10 to the fourth, 7.5 times 10 to the fourth, and 6.5 times 10 to the third. And they want us to do the least to greatest. So the first thing that you need to do when you are ordering numbers is you are going to look and put the order the numbers from least to greatest by the power of 10. So, for example, this first one, negative 4 is the smallest out of all of these exponents. So we're looking at all these exponents. So our first one is going to be 6.2 times 10 to the negative fourth. And then we have the 3 is the next smallest, 6.5 times 10 to the third power. And then we have 6.2 times 10 to the fourth power and 7.5 times 10 to the fourth power. So first we just did the exponents. So negative 4, 3, 4, 4. These two may be needing to switch around. The second part is that we then look at the number in front. So then we've got to make sure, is 6.2 or 7.5 smaller? 6.2 is smaller, so they're actually in the correct order, just how they are. So this is from least to greatest. Okay, you tried this one. Come back to me when you are done. Okay, so you should have got 3 times 10 to the negative 6. Negative 6 is the smallest. 3.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. 3.11 times 10 to the fifth. And 3 times 10 to the sixth. We did not have to look at the individual numbers. All we had to do was look at the exponents. Okay, so tonight your homework is page 205 and 206, number 9 through 25 odd. Happy homeworking!